Guess who's back in the kitchen today? Donna. And welcome back to my channel, Linda's daughter, Donna. Today, I saw this recipe on either Instagram or another YouTube short or something. And I decided, since everything that was in that recipe are things that I can eat and I like, I decided I was going to make my version. And what's on the menu today? I am making cabbage and sausage. That's the dish I'm making, cabbage and sausage. But I'm going to be using an andouille sausage. I'm going to be using chicken sausage. And I'm going to put some turkey bacon in there. The dish that I saw, or the recipe that I saw, only had the sausages that I mentioned and cabbage, but I'm gonna put some carrots in mine. So let me show you exactly what I'm working with. So I'm ready for you today. I have some green onions, and this is a mix of all the different sausages and the turkey bacon. And everything that I have here is nitrate free. This is my cabbage that's washed and chopped roughly. My carrots, some tomatoes. I have a whole sweet onion in there that I'm gonna put in there, and some green sweet peppers. I'm also gonna be using some frozen mixed sweet peppers, red, yellows, oranges, green, whatever color is in it. But that's all gonna be in this one pot dish. I already have my Dutch oven getting hot, and my only problem right now is that I do not have any, extra virgin olive oil. So it's going to be vegetable oil today. Not my favorite oil, but that's what I'm using because that's what I have here. So while that gets nice and hot, and the pot is already hot, so I know the oil is gonna heat up real quickly, I'm just gonna move my container with the sausages over and get it ready to hit this nice hot pot. So let's get the sausage. And I know you can hear that sizzle. Today I have my wooden spoon. I'm going to get that boiling. I mean, not boiling, sauteing. So one of the things that this recipe doesn't do, but I'm doing, I'm going to start my cabbage in this stock pot. I just wanted to spring some of that water because cabbage is loaded with water, and I don't want this dish to be so soggy with the liquid from the cabbage. So I'm gonna get it started in this pot, and then I'm gonna transfer it when it's time to the Dutch oven. I made a whole big head of cabbage. Let's get this stove on high. I should say, let me turn that burner on high. So the one thing we know is that cabbage shrinks. It does. So even though that's an entire head of cabbage, it's gonna shrink. And if it looks like it's too much for the recipe, then I'll just set some aside because I can always use it in another dish. And let's see if you can see what's going on in this pot. Oops. There we go. I'm going to turn this up on high because I want it to crisp up a bit. I'm also adding a tad bit of garlic powder and some onion powder. And I'm going to put some, do I have any? Yes, there's some in here. Some, is this smoked? No, this is just some regular paprika. And I'll cover this pot so that it will start spraying some liquid. My daughter just called me to remind me that the clock springs forward tonight. So I will not be in this kitchen past 7 o'clock. It's 5:45. I actually think I could have had, I actually am using 2 andouille sausages, 3 chicken sausage, and about 6 slices of turkey bacon. And I think I really could add some more chicken sausage to this. I'm also going to be adding some of my green seasoning when I combine everything in one pot. So let me get a bowl out, because after I have this, the sausage and bacon all nicely crisp, I'm going to transfer it to this bowl. The one thing why I need to get these somewhat crispy is because by the time I add the cabbage to this, it is going to lose some of the crispiness, but that's quite fine. Out. Oil is popping up. Woo! Don't get burned. Do not get burned. Wow. Alrighty, this is becoming a little dangerous here. I have hot grease popping up at me. I feel like I need a shield. Alrighty, so that's out. Now I'm actually going to add the carrots. Hope you saw that. And I'm going to put my onions in. The carrots are not cut very small, so I'm going to, while the onions sweat, I'm gonna get the carrots in there to absorb some of the flavor from the sausages. And it'll start getting tender as well. Give you a little peek in my pot. The cabbage is absolutely springing some of its liquid, and it's doing exactly what I want it to do. Let's stir it so that all that powdered seasoning that I put in so my onions are very translucent, and now I'm going to add the tomatoes. I'm going to add the green peppers. Now remember, I told you I had some more sweet pepper. These are frozen, and it's red, yellow, and green. I'm just going to put them right in this pot right now. Let's turn this up just a little bit. I'm going to add some black pepper. This is a one-pot meal, so all the different flavors is going to be soaked into everything that's in this pot. I actually just want the carrots. I want the carrots to get more tender. But I'm not going to put a lid on this as of yet. I'm not going to put. Now it's time to add a heaping spoon of my green seasoning. Stirring. The very last thing that I'm going to add to this pot are my green onions. I want to give this juice that's in here, or the sauce, just a little bit, not enough to come up on my hand. Don't burn me. Okay, I could actually add a little bit of salt, just a little bit of salt. Now Now let's check on the cabbage. I want to show you. Initially, when I put the cabbage in the pot, it was all the way to the top. Now it's halfway down. Halfway down. And that's exactly what I wanted. Now let's check these carrots to see how crunchy they are. Still a little crunchy. And I could actually add a little bit more garlic. I love garlic. And now I'm actually just going to pour the cabbage in this pot because I've sweated it down or steamed it just enough. And I'm putting it all in. Let's set it on. Let's turn that down. See if I can try to stir to get all the flavors blended in. Perfect. I'll rest my spoon here, and now I'll get the lid. Turn this down low because I don't want it to start sticking to the bottom. Now while that's happening, let's get some containers out of the way. The last time I was in this kitchen preparing, what was I making? I think it was last Saturday. I was making the jerk chicken and the curry chicken. Let's see if I can get, yeah. The last time I was in this kitchen, I mentioned that I made festival for my grandsons. And guess what? I'm gonna be making festivals right now. And it's a mix, okay, that all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting it in this bowl. All of it goes in the bowl. And let's get my turkey and sausages out of the way. And I'll put the onion close to me right here. Let's cover this pot. I'm going to get this is a pretty big skillet, but it'll work. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to wipe to make sure there's no water in here because I don't need any hot oil. So I'm going to get the pan pretty hot, and I'm going to start making this dough because that's going to form a dough. Let's get some water. Let's see if you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Now, since I only have one packet of this dough, I'm going to have to be very skillful to make sure I don't put too much water in here. And all the ingredients needed to make this right is already in the mix. So now I know I can add just a little bit more water. And I'm using a spoon to gather the mix. My hands are clean and I'm serving family, but now I'm going to get into this dough with my hands just to make sure I haven't put too much water in. I haven't. I could tip just a little bit more. Playing with fire here, just a tad bit more. Yep. Okay, now that's perfect. So I can get rid of the spoon. And now I'm just going to knead it just to gather all of the mix together. And I don't want to do this, don't want to over knead this. And that's perfect. Just a little ball. And now I'm going to cover this with, I'm going to make this damp. I'm going to cover this for 15 minutes. Pretty sure that's what the package says, because I'm going exactly, let's see. Combine the package with water. Leave dough in a bowl covered with a damp cloth for approximately 15 minutes. I was right, so I'll set my timer. Okay. I'm actually gonna turn the burner down because the pot doesn't need to be getting hot for 15 minutes. Now I can get back to my cabbage dish. Wonderful. And right about now, it is time to add the sausage. Taking a little taste. That's pretty good. Really needs a lot of seasoning in it. So I added onion powder, garlic powder, and some paprika and black pepper. But I also had the green seasoning in here. And in about, I would say 10 or so minutes, I will add the green onions, which is definitely going to take the flavor up a notch. Do a little peek in this pot. Can you see? Yes, you can. As you can see, the last thing I'm going to add are my green onions. And this was about 3 stalks of green onions. The entire thing chopped up, and I'll just stir that in. And in 5 minutes, or maybe 3, not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes, I will turn the burner off because this is cooked and ready to be consumed. Only thing I'll do right now is try to get some of the juices down here to take a taste. I just tasted, and quite honestly, the only thing I would add to this, if I was the only person eating it, is some habanero peppers. I'm just gonna add a little bit of black pepper. Just a tad bit. But it's perfectly seasoned. And with not a lot of salt, because I have several things in here that had enough salt in it. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm just gonna turn the stove off and just I'm turning off the burner so that everything can just sit in its own juices for about, actually it's all just gonna sit here until I'm finished making the festivals. And it's 5 more seconds. So I'm gonna turn. There we go, timer. I'll stop that. Well, cancel. And now I'll turn the burner up to 5 on this just to get the pot. And it's pretty hot because I thought I turned it off, but I had it on like 2. So I'm going to put enough oil in this pan to cover the festival halfway. And you're gonna see how I roll it out and everything. Let's open this up. So I'm gonna be using a considerable, and you can tell that this is hot because it's already starting to form the little waves in here. I'm gonna turn the handle this way so that I don't accidentally knock it over. And I can take this off the festival mix, that is. And now, because I do not have a board on which to roll the dough, I'm actually, and I don't know how well this is going to work. I hope it works well enough for me. I'm going to spread. Let's move this over a little bit. Generous. That's what I'll treat myself to next. Let's turn this out. Oh, I could actually, let's see if I have, I don't really have, oops, knocking everything. I'm just gonna put a little bit of flour on my hand. So that the dough doesn't stick to my hand. And I am going to use a rolling pin. I'm trying to do it a different way. I'm going to use a rolling pin to roll this out. What I should have done, I'm not doing a fantastic job. Probably I should not use a rolling pin. This is a test kitchen, just remember that. So I think what I'll do is I'll start breaking the dough into small pieces because this is the size and it's not going to be a round piece of dough that goes in the pot. It's going to be flattened. So this is just like making dumplings. Like, I think dumplings that you, what is it? Chicken and dumplings? But it's, I think my family really loves me because it seems like every time I am cooking, I get a call from a family member. So let's do this. I want you to be able to see how I'm going to. So this is not going to make a lot. So all I do really is I roll it long. And some folks like to flatten it. Let's see, I'm gonna not touch the camera with my hand. I'll show you just, they roll it and then they flatten it. I'll just show you. I'm gonna roll all of them this way and then just flatten it. And I don't think that's the traditional way, because this is usually if you go to Jamaica and you go to the beaches and you have folks selling fried fish or whatever they're, you know, cooking and selling. I don't remember them flattening the festival. I think they put it in, I know that they do this, make it long and just drop it in a pan with hot oil. But I'm gonna do it the way that I see them doing it here now. And my pot is nice and hot, so I'm gonna start putting some in. Let's just show you what it looks like. Can you see what that looks like? Yes. Alrighty. I think this spot, I don't want this to be way too hot because I don't want them to be, you know, burning as soon as I put them in. So let's start loading them in the hot oil. Yeah, and you can tell because the oil is sizzling around them. As soon as I get them in, I'll show you. I think I can get a couple more in here. See what it looks like? Yeah. So let's get a couple more. So while those are frying, I'm gonna do what I do best, is to start putting things away. That by the time I'm done cooking, my kitchen is clean. So there you have it. That's what festivals look like. Some are a little browner than the others, but they're not burned. And I have put some of the cabbage and sausages and turkey bacon in this container. because now I'm about to take some dinner for my daughter, Love Compassionately. So for now, I'm just leaving you for a few minutes. I will return. Well, I'm getting ready to have my dinner. And my dinner is the sausage and cabbage. I know I'm not doing this the greatest way, but that's what I'm having for dinner. I just took some over to my daughter who lives less than 5 minutes away. I mean, literally 3 minutes away. And so, Lord, I thank you for this meal that you have helped me to provide for my family. I thank you that you continue to make provisions for us. Please bless this meal, sanctified in the name of Jesus, and let it be nourishing to my body. I'm going to dig in. My daughter, I don't even really need a knife. I don't. So I'll rest that right there. Just need a fork. My daughter called me back and she gave it a 9.5 out of 10. I'll take that. And the reason is that I put too much of the sauce in her plate. Let's taste. I'm gonna be my own critique. Now my daughter, she can absolutely cook without salt. If I asked my husband when he has some, did this dish need some more salt? He's gonna say absolutely not. For me, I could have added a little bit more salt. And I'm trying to get better with that because I'm sure if I brought a food scientist in here, they'd tell me how much salt this dish already has. So that's another challenge that I am gonna have to work on. I am doing very well cutting back on carbs and added sugar. Notice I say added sugar because if I went out and I got myself some freshly squeezed orange juice or freshly squeezed pear juice or whatever fruit it is, it's gonna have sugar in it because fruits have sugar, but there's no added sugar in my diet right now, and I'm enjoying that. So this, I would say, is a IG. I'm really thinking I saw this on Instagram. This is an Instagram recipe that I tweaked that I'm gonna say deserve a thumbs up, and I would absolutely make this again. But for now, you saw the festival that I made, and that's something that I could sit in one sitting and eat probably about 6 or 7 of them. No kidding. And I usually eat that with fried red snapper or steamed fish, and I'm a snapper lover. Really, that's my favorite fish. So that's how I would normally eat it. But as I said, for now, I've backed off of that from my diet. It's not because it's not good. It's because I'm just not eating it now. So I think I only have one more food cooking video that I have that I need to upload with stuff that I made. And after this, we're going to be doing some different things. I actually just checked my blood sugar. Here I have my monitor because it's good for you to check it sometimes before a meal or like 2 hours after a meal. And mine was right now just 138 before a meal. I know that's because I have been really going at the peanuts today. So I'm gonna have to back off that a little bit. But with this being a protein and veggie dish, I'm pretty sure in the morning it's not going to be high. I'm really glad you tuned in to this video. I hope whatever I did on this video you enjoy. Remember to like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you try something that I've made, drop a comment. It's not going to cost you anything to drop a comment, please. And remember, share this with somebody. Tell a friend about it, my channel. I have 30 subscribers, and I'm proud of that. And if my 30 subscribers told one more person about my channel, that would double my numbers to 60. And I'm looking forward to that, because I know that what I'm saying on here is not anything that's salacious or, people seem, not my subscribers now, other people seem to like, pranks and all that stuff. And believe me, I'm a prankster, but I'm not about to do that right now. I just want our world to get better when it comes to type 2 diabetes. Remember, there are 40 million Americans with type 2 diabetes, and I think we can make a change. We can make a change. So I'm going to sign out for now. The clock springs forward tonight or very early in the morning, and I'm going to get myself together and in bed early so I don't feel like I'm losing an hour. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Remember, thumbs up and share this channel with a friend. Bye for now.